Hi, I'm Julie Veenstra, and I am here with Sarah. I was on Facebook the other day, and I saw one of Sarah's comments about the pharmaceutical and the natural healthcare industry, and I just really wanted her to share this information with all of us. I thought it was really important information just about quality controls in the industry in general. So, Sarah, can you share with us a little bit about your background, please?
Sure. I used to work as a pharmacy technician before I got promoted to full-time mom, and I've just always been a super nerd about health stuff my whole life. So quite apart from my training professionally, I just spend hours and hours and hours reading this stuff and like searching for academic articles and things because I'm a geek. So
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. I love it. So while you were a farm tech, I guess um, you signed up to receive a lot of FDA alerts and whatnot. So what happened to open your eyes to the quality control or to the quality control issues in the nutraceutical and pharmaceutical industries?
it was quite an experience, I will tell you. When I was in pharmacy tech school, my instructors told me about something called FDA Recall Alerts that you could sign up for, where you get an email whenever something is recalled. And I assumed that, once or twice a year, I would hear about a prescription drug that was being recalled from the market because once it got wider distribution, a rare but serious side effect had been identified. That's kind of the thing that I knew about that I thought would be the most common thing. And I was so wrong. I started getting called because they contained hidden, undisclosed prescription drugs that were added to them because the manufacturers themselves apparently didn't believe that the supplement was going to work. So they would stick prescription drugs in there and just not put it on the label, which is highly illegal. But apparently it's also tragically common because I was getting flooded every day with these emails.
Okay, now your sound cut out a little bit there. Could you repeat that again? You said that in natural health products, they're actually hiding medications in them.
Yes, the vast majority of the FDA recall alert emails that I received, which was a vastly higher number of emails than I expected, the vast majority of them were not prescription drugs being recalled. They were so-called natural or herbal or other supplements that were being recalled because they contained what was referred to as an undeclared drug ingredient. So the biggest categories of these were male enhancement ones, which secretly contained Viagra. There were also a lot of weight loss drugs that secretly contained prescription appetite suppressants. There was even a natural sort of mood booster that secretly contained prescription antidepressants. It was a lot of herbal stuff that was herbal stuff plus. And with some of them, it also, when I would open up the email once in a while to see what the details were, it would say something like, the labeled dose of this herbal supplement contains 3 times the starting dose that's recommended for the prescription drug. It was really kind of scary stuff.
Okay, so I mean, we're always telling people just looking at a label is never enough. So you're kind of verifying that you cannot just look at a label and assume you know everything you need to know about that product.
Right. And just today, actually, I was doing a little further research online and found an academic paper on a study that was done to find out whether these FDA recalls are effective. Once they send out this recall email, what happens? And the conclusion of the study was when they went out to stores 6 months later, most of those supplements were still on the shelf. And when they bought some and took it to their lab and tested it, 67% of them still contained the ingredient that was not supposed to be in there that the FDA recalled it for.
Okay, how can they get away with this? Because there's got to be some controls. How are they getting away with this?
I honestly don't understand the lack of enforcement. I don't know how they're getting away with it, but clearly they are because there's there's this academic paper documenting the fact that they are.
Okay. So
It's the
somebody,
wild, wild west out there with supplements right now.
yes, unfortunately it is. I remember sitting in one of my law classes years ago, and I was really shocked at how much it was a buyer beware market. The responsibility is completely on the consumer to do your own homework. There is a lot of loopholes in marketing. So a company may not straight out lie. They're not allowed to just straight out lie about something, but there is also the omission, right? There's certain things that they just don't say, or they mislead in a certain way. So there's a lot of loopholes, and it's really hard to navigate through all the marketing to actually find truth. So
Mm-hmm.
now I know for you, you have actually chosen to partner with a specific brand for your own use, and because now you're also an entrepreneur in the wellness industry. So
Mm-hmm.
what have you what made you choose this the specific brand that you are partnering with?
It was kind of a two-part choosing. There was the day that I tried it and the day that I decided I would never need to try anything else. uh, the day that I tried it, it was about 5 months after my daughter was born. I was still taking my prenatal, just a second, buddy, my prenatal that my midwife had recommended, and it was definitely doing a lot for me. I know because I ran out for a month. But I was stubbornly refusing to buy more because I knew I had just misplaced the bottle, and that as soon as I went and bought another one, I would find it. But I started falling apart after a couple of weeks, and I was like, wow, this must have really been helping me because now I can't function. And my friend had just started her business with a supplement company, and I thought, well, I'm spending all this money on vitamins anyway, I might as well help my friend. And so I bought some from her, basically just the equivalent of what I was doing, but from her company. And within a couple of weeks, I was back to normal. And I thought, oh, good, I feel like myself again. But the improvement just kept coming. So, within 2 more weeks, I felt better than I ever had in my life. And I thought, there is something unique here. What is it? So I started asking questions. I started reading up, and I learned that this company does insane amounts of testing, that every batch of raw ingredients that they bring in that gets delivered to them, they test the plants. They do DNA tests on the plants to make sure that it's actually what it was claimed, what it was presented to be. And then they test it again to find out whether it has pesticide residue on it. And then they test it again to find out whether it has lead in it, and on and so forth and so forth. And their products have been on the market for 100 years, and they've never had a recall. And that just, I was like, okay, that's it. I found the Holy Grail. I don't
Okay.
have to look any further.
I think earlier on we were just chatting a little bit, and you mentioned that even Johnson and Johnson cannot claim that they've never had a recall. There's so many companies that
That's
cannot
that's
make that
right.
claim.
That fact just blew me out of the water, because even the company, that we trust, that's the most trusted name in America for baby products, like, they've had recalls, and everybody kind of figures, well, if it happens once every 50 years, they're probably doing their best. But, this other company had been around for 100 years, and they just went, they didn't just do kind of the bare minimum to be considered responsible. They said, like, how can we be certain that everything is 100% pure? And they really went to the wall, and
Mm-hmm.
the results, 100 years and no recalls, that's phenomenal.
It's really sad when people acknowledge that, okay, we want to do something for our health. First of all, it's scary with medications, that when they're taking medications, even that is not always guaranteed to be what they say it is. But when they're taking natural things, first of all, that contaminants or medications could be hidden in there is scary. But also, they're trying to do something for their health, and you know they might not be getting the results that they want, or it's just they're spending their money on things that they don't even know for sure that they're getting what they think they're buying. So it's a really sad industry, and I'm really glad that there are companies out there that are actually stepping up and doing more testing. I know the brand that you're working with, they do at least 3 times the amount of testing that they're required to do, just because it's the right thing to do.
Hmm.
So that is really awesome. Sarah, thank you so much. I know you have a busy family and everything now as well that you need to take care of. And I so much appreciate you sharing your time with us. I know you do a lot of research, and so I appreciate all the research that you do, and I don't think it's nerdy in the least. Please keep doing the research. Please keep
Oh,
doing the
I
research.
don't see nerddom as a bad thing.
No,
To put
no,
it
not
that
at
way.
all. Keep doing the research because we need people like that. Like there is too many people who just like go in the stores, look at the label, and assume that's all they need to know. So we need people out there who are looking out for everyone else and saying, look, here are things we have to be aware of. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And yeah, um, hopefully we will keep sharing this news of quality and how much it counts.
You are so welcome, and thank you for giving me a chance to share.
Okay, thank you.